I think one of the key things here with ChatGPT, for those of you who haven't used ChatGPT or any of these models, I'm going to just divert for a second. So there are multiple large language models. There's ChatGPT, there's Grok, which comes out of Elon Musk's businesses. There's Gemini, which is the
Gemini.
Gemini, which is the Google one. Then there are multiple others, and all of them can be used for different things. So, for instance, I use a Google tool. I not generally personally, I just use ChatGPT just because it knows me so well. But I use a Google tool called NotebookLM as an example. And NotebookLM is a great deep research tool. So I have a podcast where I interview CEOs, and I've interviewed 130 CEOs now. Just recently, I fed all of the URLs of all of those interviews from YouTube into NotebookLM, and over 5 minutes, it analyzed all 130 interviews, 30 to 40 minutes each, and it came back with the 12 key lessons for a CEO founder out of those 130 interviews. ChatGPT couldn't do that because it got lost with the amount of number one, it couldn't access YouTube because Google owns YouTube and therefore NotebookLM could, but it couldn't go in and access the transcriptions. And secondly, it gets lost. There's another one called Perplexity I use. And Perplexity is a research tool that will actually give the actual it'll cite where it gets the research from. So if you think about it, there's three that I use, and I use an image generator as well. So it's four I use, $80 US a month equates to what? Call it 150 Aussie a month. And essentially I've got a PhD researcher, I've got a graphic designer, I've got a PhD, someone who writes a copy for me. Like for $150 a month, it is nothing in the whole scheme of things. And the what it adds to your ability to run your business is extraordinary. The other part is, and it's interesting, Tom, and Tom, thanks so much for sharing that then. The other part of this is you can't just rely on ChatGPT. Okay? It's a 20-60-20 rule or 10-80-10 rule. You need to think about what you're going to actually ask it to do. Okay? You need to think about what like. If you think about the prompt I asked you to put in there for the evergreen metrics, I'm going to fess up. Yesterday at lunchtime, I didn't have any of these AI prompts in there, but I was sitting out doing some reading by the pool yesterday afternoon, waiting for the kids to come home, and I just thought, hold on a moment, I can give this presentation, but all I can actually give you something far better, far more by actually adding some prompts, some AI prompts to actually help you generate this stuff quickly. So designing the prompts is critical. It'll do the work, but then you've got to analyze what it comes out with. And Tom made that comment about 80% right, Tom, do you think?
Yeah, that's what it generally is. Yeah, 80 to 90, sometimes 100.
But you can't just rely on it. You've got to actually think about it and test it with your team as well. Okay, so let me just now jump back to where we were.
Jonathan, only because I'm a complete stickler on this kind of stuff, just for anybody else, if you're a company getting an enterprise version rather than doing it personally is really important because then you're contractual and just be careful in just knowing what you're putting in there is if you're putting company information in, but if you've got an enterprise license, then it's very different to if you're just doing it on your personal one.
Yeah. Tom, I'd actually take that a step further. I'd have two.
Yeah.
I'd have your own personal stuff because
Yeah.
you're going to be doing analysis of things that you don't necessarily want your people, the whole company to see. You're working, as we were talking the other week about you working with the board and everything else.
Yeah.
It's not,
That's what I have. I have a personal one where I have my thinking,
yeah,
which is non-company confidential.
yeah.
And I can speak generally about things. And then I have the actual work one where I can put real stuff in.
Yeah. Okay. So there's your evergreen. So these are a high level, the high level key metrics, yeah, revenue, income per employee, whatever you come up with, these are the company level, CEO level things that you're tracking. The next thing is your North Star. Now, a lot of people haven't heard of the concept of North Star, so just a little bit of background on what North Star is. This is normally one, maximum two metrics that drive the focus and growth of the business. What is it? It's a single guiding metric that reflects the core value delivered to your customers. It aligns the team around one primary goal, helping prioritize impactful work. It focuses on long-term growth by centering on customer value. Okay, lots of big words. I'm going to show you some examples in a moment. So this is about the purpose is to align, to prioritize, and to simplify. Yeah. What does winning actually look like in your business? Can you have more than one? Ideally, one North Star metric for maximum clarity. If needed, secondary metrics may track other key areas. So I'll give you an example. Here are examples of North Star metrics for some of the big players out there. Spotify, time spent listening. LinkedIn, active user connections. Uber, rides completed. Airbnb, nights booked. Facebook, daily active users. Amazon, Prime subscriptions. Prime subscriptions is interesting because that's a sticky metric. E-commerce side, repeat purchases. So a North Star metric gives your company a direction and defines success through customer value, driving sustainable growth. Who has a North Star metric at the moment? One. Thanks, Vanessa. Do you want to share what it is? Oh, no, yeah, there we
Yep,
go.
there we go. Yeah, so we have our North Star as reports completed.
So what is your business?
So I'm the CEO of a medico-legal service provider. So we do independent medical assessments. The best example that everyone probably can relate to is if someone's involved in a car accident, we facilitate the independent medical opinion on how those injuries have impacted said person involved with the accident on behalf of insurers and law firms and whatnot.
Okay, so reports generated makes a lot of sense.
Yep, that links direct to our revenue.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that.
Sure.
Okay, so bit of work to do. Here's another ChatGPT prompt. Defining a North Star. So act as a strategy coach. Help me define my North Star metric that captures long-term success and aligns my whole team. Ask me about my vision, growth drivers, and customer value. Interview me by asking one question at a time. Once you have enough information, give me 2 to 3 options and recommend the best one. Okay. So if you haven't got the workbook, grab it out of the chat. Copy this in or dictate it in. Let's take 5 minutes and define your North Star metrics. Any questions, please jump in the chat. Okay, how do we go? Josh, it looks as though you're being madly talking into the computer. Can you just come off?
There you go. Yeah, I have. I was just trying the dictation mode and it seems to work quite well.
Excellent. So can I ask, how did you find, what's it given you? What's your business, first off?
We're food manufacturing, and so mainly we have a small retail presence in Coles and Woolies, but mainly we're bulk ingredients into food and cosmetic manufacturers.
Okay. So how did the prompt for your North Star help you?
I guess where I'm lost is you get busy in the day and I don't really know what the core metric should be or the North Star metric should be. There's so many important things. So I think just drilling down and dictating this into ChatGPT, it's come down, essentially it's told me it's tons of products sold and it explains the reasons why that should be the metric.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. Yep, for sure. Okay. At the end of the day, we're a manufacturer, so it's all about optimizing. It's OEE, those sort of metrics that we do currently track anyway. But yes, it's runtime efficiencies, it's tons through a production line. So, yep.
So would you consider having 2 North Star metrics on the basis that you've got the retail side as well?
Yeah, good point, actually. That's probably something I need to investigate more, how we can fairly measure those metrics in the different channels.
Yeah, okay. One of the things about what we're doing now is you're not going to get perfection right now. Obviously, the next step is to take it a bit further and then start discussing it with your leadership team. Because we're talking do you have a CEO dashboard now?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I think one of the things that I really like about what we're doing today is it's forcing is the wrong word, but giving you the opportunity to work on the business rather than being in that day to day all the time. And by the way, guys, when you implement the work that you're doing today and execute on it, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay? Keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're talking about taking action. If we find that one of the metrics, North Star, or one of the evergreen, or one of the marketing, or sales, or operations, whatever it is, one of the metrics is not quite right or is not working, change it. Okay? We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for momentum here. Okay. Anybody else like to come off mute and tell me their experience of this one?
Thanks for tuning in to the Scale Up Growth Podcast. Make sure you hit subscribe so you'll be the first to know when the next episode drops.